Noon. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to share the New York State Multiple Systems Navigator with you. I'm Robin Miller, and I was part of the core team that developed the Multiple Systems Navigator website. I retired from state service 2 years ago, but continued to work with the Council on Children and Families as a consultant on this and a couple of other projects at the Council. I was supposed to be joined today by Bill Przlucky. He's the Director of Collaborative Solutions and Collaborative Solutions for Children and the Project Director of the Navigating Multiple Systems Initiative, but unfortunately he's having some computer trouble. We are super excited to collaborate with the Children and Youth with Special Health Care Needs Project team, and we're happy to share the Navigator with all of you. Today's agenda, I'll provide a little background on the Navigating Multiple Systems Initiative and give a brief demonstration of the Multiple Systems Navigator. We have a limited time, so I won't be able to show you everything, so we encourage you to explore the site on your own after the demonstration. I will also share some information on another council resource that may be of interest to you, the New York State Parent Portal and mobile app, and then I will address some frequently asked questions, and if we have time, possibly take some more questions. So the background of this project, back in 2012 and 2013, families and parents identified a big gap working with systems and gaining information. From that gap, the children's plan was developed, and that's kind of how the Multiple Systems Project was born. We did a lot of outreach and research when we were developing this project. We did focus groups and surveys to learn what was important and what would be most helpful to individuals, parents, and families. The primary goal of the Multiple Systems Navigator is to provide quality resources and information on one user-friendly website. Our goal was to reduce frustration experienced by individuals that were struggling to navigate multiple New York State websites. We strive to give people the information they are looking for with the least amount of work. A few things about the site before I jump into the demonstration. First is that it's built mobile first, and what that means is it works and functions very well on a PC, but it actually was designed primarily to function and look good on mobile devices. The other thing you'll notice is whenever you're on the site and you click on anything that has a telephone number, if you click on that telephone number, it will automatically open your phone's phone dialer. If you click on an address or get directions, it will open Google Maps for you. The site was family and youth guided. We paid a lot of attention to accessibility and cultural and linguistic differences. There's a strong focus on resources for individuals with disabilities. We paid attention to quality. We didn't just put anything on the site. We tried to put only quality resources on there. We built what we like to refer to as a smart system, and I may not have time to really show you that, but basically when you're navigating the site and you click through on different categories, you often are presented additional information related to the search that the categories that you selected, in a similar way as shopping sites present other items that you may be interested in. And the site is built to grow, so we are constantly adding to it and encourage people to provide information to us. So the URL is given here, msnavigator.org, and I'll jump into the demonstration. So this is the Navigator homepage. The first thing you'll see here is we have a Google Translate button. So this allows all the content on the site to be translated, which is great. But one of the things that we realized, we have so many resources on the site. And when I refer to resources, I'm talking about publications, websites, videos, hotlines, and program and service information. So by translating the site, we realized we also needed to translate documents that were stored on the site. So when you view various resources, you'll have a button there where you can actually translate the documents or translate other websites that we are referring you to. Talk to someone now. This was identified when we did our outreach, when we asked the question, ultimately, what helped you most in your journey? People said when they reached out and they talked to somebody who had either walked in their shoes or was an expert in the field that they were trying to get information from. So this is a page that breaks down, provides information lines and hotlines organized by category, and it's available on every page. We have a global search function here, and I'm just going to type in disability. And using that global search actually searches all the resources on our site, as well as our term and acronym dictionary for all the terms that contain the word disability, and also all the agencies and organizations that contain the term disability. Any of these can be clicked through, as well as the resources. And when you're looking at a resource result, you'll see there's a little visual clue telling you what types of resources. Here's hotline, website. This is a program or service, and you could click through on any of these to get more information on that resource. Navigating basics. This is guidance on how to navigate systems, and it's really for people that are just kind of starting their journey. Where do I begin? How can I get prepared and stay organized? What do I need to know? And things like that. Resources, these are the categories that we use to organize all of the resource information on Navigator. So you can click through on any of the main categories, and you'll see a subset of subcategories, as well as featured resources that we have. News and events. We encourage you to share any news and events that you think would be of interest to our audience, as well as viewing it yourselves. So there's a lot of information on here, changes in regulations, upcoming conferences, webinars, and things like that. If you'd like to submit anything to appear in our news, notes, and events, we have a form here. So you can just click on this button to do that. We have multiple tools. I showed you the global search, and now I'll show you the advanced search. And the advanced search actually allows you to get a broader result set. So rather than going to resources and clicking on one category at a time, here you have the ability to choose multiple categories. You know, these are all of the categories that we have resources on. So I'll just click a few of these. You also have the ability to choose a specific county. The majority of the resources on this site are for all of New York State. If I click Albany, it's going to not show me something from Long Island if it's specific to Long Island, but it would show me everything else from New York State. You also can filter on specific types of resources you want to see. So you can see this is a much larger result set, but you can go in and customize the things that you'd like to see. We also have a newly upgraded mapping tool, and we have two different types of maps that we use on Navigator. So we have what we call regional assets, which are like geographic maps, and then we have programs and services, and these are actually points or address location maps. So these are just boundaries. You could view school districts, you could turn on schools and see which schools are in which school districts and things like that. I'll turn on the Families Together Parent Advisors. And depending on what it is you're looking at, you'll see different information when you click on a county. With a regional map loaded, you also have the ability to load additional programs and services on top of them. So this is one that we recently added, and it's accessible recreation destinations. And you also have the ability to filter out things that you're not interested in and really, zoom in on what it is you want to see. And all of our locations, all of the programs and service information have directions because they're actual locations that you can go to. Whoops. Sorry about that. Trying to scroll down here. So I'm going to turn on Head Start sites so you can view multiple locations at the same time. And again, say I was only interested in early Head Start programs, I can filter out the others. And again, you're going to see different information based on what it is you selected. All of the information provided on both types of maps are downloadable by clicking on this little download button here. And you can actually interact with the data as well as download it. I'll try to pick something that's not too huge. I'll do Wick. So our search box actually would filter out whatever you type in there. So this is searching for anything with the word Brooklyn in it. You can also sort by different types of programs, and interact with the data this way. And you can also save it to Excel. And it also tells you when this information was last updated. So that's our mapping tool. Our term and acronym dictionary. So again, when we did that outreach, and this was identified as one of the major frustrations for families, was the second they started working with any system, people started throwing around terms and acronyms that were unfamiliar. So here you can actually type in any term. I'm going to type in health home because that was one that I was confused about for a while. So any term that we have in our term and acronym dictionary shows up by me typing that in there. Also, you can see we have acronyms here. If I typed in IEP. So we encourage you also to use this and go in and type in different terms and acronyms that you may use. And if you find that there is a term or acronym that you think we should have on our site and we don't, we do have a form here, suggest a term form. So you could just click through on that, give us the definition, tell us the term, and we would be happy to put that on our website. Agencies and organizations, this functions sort of the same way. Basically, for every resource we have on our site, we have the we have a record or a page that explains who owns that resource. So if I click through on any of these, you'll be able to see information. So Access VR, here's their website. The parent organization is State Ed, the description, and resources and programs offered. And you can search the same way here. So you don't have to scroll through the same thing. You know, I could just put in DOH and then go to that record. So you can quickly see what resources we have on our site from the Department of Health. Transition to adulthood, that was when we asked the question, what was the greatest information need? People said information about transitioning children to adulthood. So there's a lot of information here, but we really push people towards the information pack series. So we have different sections of information, different topics. And we have one on health. We encourage you to review it. If you have things that you think should be added or changed, again, we're happy to make any changes. You know, we're not the content experts, so we really rely on our partners for keeping content updated. So forgive me for moving along quickly here, but I'm gonna go back to our PowerPoint. I also wanted to tell you about a new website that was launched by the council last year. It's called the New York State Parent Portal. And we also created our first mobile app. And it basically is a portal to 4 really useful websites. So the first website on the portal is the New York State Child Care and After School and Home Visiting Programs Locator, which actually is a mapping program. You can type in your address and you can select, you can see all of the childcare within 1 mile up to 10 miles of the location that you entered. You can view violation history, and that childcare data is updated nightly. The New York State Parent Guide is a website that really focuses on child development and has a lot of parenting tips. The Multiple Systems Navigator is one of the websites included on the parent portal. And the Every Student Present website is a website that really brings attention to the issue of chronic absence and the importance of getting your children to school. And it has a lot of useful information for parents as well as school administrators. The Parent Portal mobile app is available in the Apple Store and Google Play Store, and also in the app directory in the footer of all New York State websites. Excuse me. Sorry. And the URL for the Parent Portal is nysparenting.org. Our frequently asked questions is how accurate and up-to-date is the resource directory? And we do a few things to keep it updated. So we do have a link checker, so we get notified when links are broken, which brings our attention to updating things. We really do rely on our partners to tell us when they've updated information. It's one of the reasons we don't currently have a lot of local information on the site, because it would be impossible for us to keep it updated. People always ask about analytics. We've had, we launched the site in 2016. We've had 52,000 sessions since its inception, and you can see that number goes up every year, which is exactly what we like to see. And then another question is, how do we provide resource or organization information on this website? So these 3 links here are showing you where you can go to the agencies and organizations and view what's on there and let us know what's not on there. the form for the term and acronym dictionary, and the form to suggest a resource. And the one that I didn't include also was the form to include news notes and events. So that was a very quick run through. If you have any questions and we have time, I'd be happy to answer any questions that we have. And you're all welcome to just email us or call us also if you have any questions. So I don't hear any questions. So I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you very much.